Hey guys, what's up? Caleb Downing here, and today we're going to go over the REDWIN Cobra, a circular lensed optic. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so disclosures and everything out of the way. Let's get this done real quick. I did reach out to REDWIN to get a hold of this optic, and they sent it to me for free, so I did not pay for it. Alright? Now, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again for the people that haven't heard. When companies send me things for free, I truly believe that alleviates me for any need to justify a purchase or to say nice things about the company. Right? Because it's already mine. If I say bad things about it, it's already mine. It's not like they're getting it back. If I say good things about it, well, it better stand on its own merit, because if I recommend something to people and they go out and get it and they don't like it, well, they're going to come back at me, right? So I try, as always, to give a very unbiased, just factual information as far as what I actually believe in the item. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it stand on its own 2 feet? All right, so that's what we're going to do in this review. We're going to take a look at this guy and see how it actually runs. All right, so first off, we're going to go over some specs and data for you guys. If you want to look up really specific stuff, just go to REDWIN's website. It's redwinoptics.com. It's pretty straightforward and simple. You can Google stuff and find it pretty easy, and you can find whatever specific data you want to see there, right? Right, so let's go over some of these main features, right? You do have a multi-reticle, so you have a circle dot, and the dot itself. So like a lot of other multi-reticle optics out there, you have the same features here, but that's cool. Not every, especially pistol red dots, don't all have that. If you want that, right? You have 8 daylight, 2 night vision settings, so 10 different brightness settings. They say you have a 50,000 hour battery life. That's pretty impressive. We will see. All right, this does have a motion sensor built into it, so if the optic is not in motion for 3 minutes, then it will turn off, and then once you touch the optic or the firearm that it's on, it will turn back on all by itself. It is IPX67 waterproof rated. That is 1 meter for 1/2 hour, and it does have the RMR mount base provided with it, so this optic is an RMR footprint. It says it is shockproof to 1200 Gs. Now, I don't know how to test if the optic is rated for a set amount of Gs. I have no idea. But what we are going to do is we're going to mount this guy, and I've already done it, onto this P320, so 9mm pistol. We're also going to mount it over on this guy. This is a Foxtrot Mike 9-inch 5.56 SBR that I have. So we're going to mount it on both of these, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 500 rounds, 250 out of the 9mm, 250 out of the Foxtrot Mike 9-inch. And so we're going to see. We're going to zero it, shoot 250 rounds, check our zero, do the same thing on both systems, right? So let's go ahead and jump into our actual range footage. All right, zeroing was actually pretty straightforward. This does have like a hex key instead of a flathead for adjustments. It does come with the tools and everything that you would need to adjust it. It would be nice if it had flatheads instead of this hex key thing going on, but it's okay, or the Allen key. It worked perfectly fine. We got it zeroed, and we went to shooting, and I will say it was very easy to pick up that dot. That dot really, in that kind of window, in that round window, versus the traditional, you know, bridge style, half moon shape on top, straight wall, straight bottom. This larger window, it makes it feel like you pick up the dot faster, right? If you're proficient at presenting your pistol and going for your irons and everything lining up, and you're proficient at that, practice your dry fire and all that, and you'll get plenty proficient. If you're proficient at that, you're going to pick up your red dot even if you have a smaller window. However, if you have a larger window, that dot will appear within that window quicker, or you'll see it before you would see it on a smaller window. Hopefully that makes sense. It's kind of complicated to explain it that way. But I think a lot of this is, it just translates to it feeling like you pick up the dot a lot faster. Alright, so we did 3 main tests aside from just shooting the pistol and sighting it in. We did 3 main tests. We put water on the optic, right? We poured water on it. We dropped the optic 3 times, and we also racked the optic off of my boot, right? We could have used the back of the truck. I guess that would be a harder surface than the bottom of a boot. But I'm trying to do this in somewhat of a realistic situation. We also, like I said, we tested the water proofness of this as far as just pouring water on it. That's what we did. Again, in real world situations, I think that'd be the same as if you dropped it in a puddle of water, you picked it up, it gets wet with rain. I'm not scuba diving with this, so I'm not going to submerge it in water and freeze it. I mean, that's cool, but that's not really practical. When are you ever going to do that? So we did do those tests. We also dropped this. And again, trying to think practicality-wise, the only times I can really think of you dropping your optic, most guys out there, the 90 to 95% of people that actually use the firearm, you're probably going to drop it when you're going to reholster. Something happens and it's waist high, so we dropped this a couple times waist high just to see what's going to happen. Right? We're not, I mean, if we wanted to intentionally destroy this optic, we could have easily, and I could destroy it right, I could bash this thing on the ground and just destroy it. But that's not what we're trying to do, right? You can do that to any optic. It doesn't matter what company it's from or what they tout. You can destroy an optic if you purposely mean to do it. That's not what we're trying to do. All right, so after all those tests, continue to run fine, continue to have a dot in the middle of the screen or the lens. No cracking of the lens happened. No major malfunctions happened at all. The light didn't flicker, or the emitter didn't flicker or go out or anything. And we put this guy back on paper. As you can see, I am very impressed, honestly, with the accuracy of the P320. It still goes to amaze me. I don't know why I haven't been shooting this firearm more, but I really have been impressed by the accuracy of the P320. And the optic itself did not lose zero. It shot, and it shot well. Moving on, we went to the Foxtrot Mike 9-inch SBR that we have. And this is in 5.56. It's not a super heavy recoiling firearm. Honestly, a heavier recoiling firearm would probably be a 9mm PCC. Those can be thumpy, right? 5.56 is not really that thumpy, but a direct blowback 9 is kind of thumpy. So we might do that in the future. But we did the same thing. We put this guy on paper, 25 yards. If we didn't say that before, 25 yards is where we're doing our zeros and checking our zeros. Then we fired 250 rounds of 223. The ammo I believe we were using was standard 55 grain Tula. That's what we have, so that's what we shot. Everything seemed to work fine. The light, I keep saying the light. Everything seemed to continue to work fine. The optic itself did not flicker, didn't go out, didn't hesitate. It continued to operate fine. It's zero easy. And even after firing all those rounds, we went back and put this guy on paper. And as you can see, he continued to put bullets where they were intended to go, right? I didn't see any major shift in zero, any issues that I was seeing. And granted, this is only 500 rounds total. 250 rounds of 5.56 or 223 and 250 rounds of 9mm. That's tiddlywinks for a lot of things, all right? That's barely scraping the surface as far as durability. I mean, you could shoot tens of thousands of rounds off of one unit, and maybe you got a good unit, and maybe the rest of them are going to be a little bit different. So this is all subjective, right? This is not scientific, repeatable. I don't have unlimited ammo. I don't have unlimited amount of optics and hosts to put this thing on and see, you know, out of, you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and justify it anymore. You see what I'm saying? For my purposes and for what I'm seeing out of this optic, I am impressed. I think it did very well. It honestly, especially with that emitter or not the emitter, but the lens size. Again, I have not used that style of lens, but I'm a believer in it. It makes a difference to me. It's quicker, faster, easier to pick up, and it's just nice, crisp, bright, and clear. On that note, I did not have any problems with clarity, the glass getting all clouded up or anything, or the emitter being drowned out by the sun. The brightness outside, now granted, it was overcast that day, but there was plenty of brightness in the adjustments that you have for your brightness settings. Even if it was super light outside, you definitely would be able to see the reticle. All right, guys, so there you go. That's my impressions, my review of the REDWIN Cobra. I was honestly impressed. I was honestly impressed, believe it or not. I didn't really know what to expect getting it. I've never even heard of REDWIN, never even heard of them. But I noticed this style of optic, and I really wanted to try it out, and I'm glad I did, because this opened my eyes to this style of lens. And I know that's not just unique to them at all. There's a lot of companies that do that, and I'm going to try to get more of them to try to see, you know, how they all pan out together. But my experience is that I like this guy. He worked fine. I'm going to continue to use it. This is one of the optics that really I want to continue to try to use this guy. I know I test a bunch of different optics, a bunch of different things, and stuff gets bounced around and handed around between different firearms and hosts. But this is an optic that I really want to try to utilize longer term, because I think it has a lot of potential, right? There's no cracking, no chipping, no nothing of the lenses. No electronics were going out. I've had that happen on some optics. This guy is working as of now, and I've been pretty impressed by it, all right? If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, you go right ahead. We're still solidifying our testing procedure for budget optics, which is what this guy lands in that budget optic category. If you want to know the price, again, prices change all the time. Go to their website, redwinoptics.com, and you can get an active, view of what the price would be on these things. But there you go. Again, if you got any questions, let me know. I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, and everything. Hopefully, we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.